Hey guys, welcome to another winter favorites video. I filmed one of these right near the beginning of winter, and then we just got like a massive snowstorm this last weekend, hence why this video is later than normal. If you pay attention to that at all, it threw everything off. Well, Tolkien's at the door, so not everything has been thrown off. Some things are exactly the same. So I still feel like we are like in the thick of winter. We have so much snow piled up outside and it's been cold. January was so nice. March is more winter than January was. So I'm doing a second part of winter favorites. They're definitely winter themed. Spring is just, it's a ways away yet. So like always with my favorites videos, I'm not trying to be like an influencer to make you buy all the things. Mostly my favorite things are actually like free or cheap, or there are different routines or like really simple things. The odd time there will be like something that costs money, and the odd time it will cost quite a bit of money, but like for the most part they're just simple little things. Making these lists, like creating these videos, forces me to keep a favorites list throughout the months, and I'm like noticing for things that make me happy. And I like that, like it's intentional gratitude, but even more so because I have this kind of like accountability in my mind that I'm going to be sharing a video on it. So it makes it even, I don't know, it makes me see the beauty and my favorite things even more because of this. I don't know, that's how my brain works. So once again, I have my list. I've been keeping it since January, since my last list really. So one of my favorite things is we actually moved, we have an IKEA lamp that used to be in our living room, but we kind of never really used it. And we moved it into our bedroom, and I started like reading in bed in the evenings a little bit before I promptly fall asleep. And I've really enjoyed it. I feel like it gives the whole room a bit more of like a mood in the evening. Sometimes I just like to turn it on and not necessarily even be in my room, but it makes me happy to walk into my room with the light on in the evening. So super simple, something we already had, we just like moved it around. Okay, this next thing is kind of a book, but it's not really the book, it's the routine. So in January and February I read The Pickwick Papers by Charles Dickens. A book I probably never would have read if it weren't for this thing that has become a favorite of mine, and that is buddy reading a dense book, specifically a Dickens book. This has made me decide that I think every January I'm going to start a new Dickens book and just read it until I complete it, because his books are heavy. Not heavy, well, like actually literally heavy. The topics aren't always like super heavy, but they're dense because of the writing, the time period. The cat is just trying to get into my office. But January, there's not a whole lot to do here because generally it's cold and snowy, so it seems like the perfect time to start one of his books, and so that's my plan. Every January, start a new one. And so I'm thankful that I was able to buddy read this with a couple ladies on YouTube, Instagram, friends from there, so that made it so much better. Even though I didn't love the book, I loved the process of checking in together. It is kind of a weird favorite because it's definitely not the book that was a favorite. Next, at the end of January, I started a kind of like journaling routine, and this is all because of Amy. She shared in a video of hers, which I will leave linked. Like always, I try to leave everything that I mention linked below. She started a little pocket journal routine, which she kind of got the idea from someone called Cat Woods. So I went on this like wild rabbit trail of like watching a bunch of videos. And so pretty much I went to the dollar store and I found a little journal. This actually was a sketchbook. It said sketch. I covered it up with a couple different stickers, and I have just been journaling. I thought about sharing a little flip through of this. I might still, we'll see. So I've got my little intro page, and then not every day, but almost every day, I've been using my stickers, which makes me happy because I always have too many stickers that I want to use, but don't always know where to use them, other than pen pal letters, but like I kind of want to keep a few for myself as well. So I've been using up different stickers that I have bought or got from pen pals, and then just journaling almost every day, and is usually about a page a day. Sometimes I skip a day, sometimes I do like 2 or 3 pages. It just depends. And so this has just been making me really happy. Amy and Kat Woods, they both use like a dated planner. So in theory, you'd be like doing it every day. And I kind of wanted to go that route, but this is what I had available to me. And I like this a little better because I don't feel like I have to do something every day. And like I just barely started a 2024 bucket list, which doesn't need to have a date with it. So I can keep all sorts of different things in here, and I'm just really enjoying this. It's been a lot of fun. And then on like pretty much that same note, so this sketchbook I got from Dollarama, and I have a bigger one that I'm using for a reading journal. Now I've been sharing this on my booktube channel a bit. They're the same kind of brand, just different sizes. So I shared the intro, the little flip through of the beginning of my reading journal, and I'm just keeping track of all sorts of different things, my reading goals, different new releases. This is my like January wrap up. Got my like February intro page, and this is a very different kind of reading journal than I've ever kept before, and I'm mostly loving it. The only thing that I'm not loving is, so like I'm printing a lot of book covers out, and I have to get these printed at Staples because my printer isn't, it's not bad, but like it's not quite good enough to make this work. And then like I forgot to print out February's book cover, and when it comes to my wrap-ups, like I did January's wrap-up, but February's wrap-up I haven't printed out all the books for, and so that's kind of slowing me down. And I could just write the names of the books. It's definitely a possibility, but I kind of like the visual of the pictures, especially like I wanted to do the books that I had from NetGalley that I needed to review, and I wanted to do a page of my owned Kindle books so I could visually see them, because one of my struggles is I don't see the book, so I forget about it. So I like it, but there are some flaws, and I just need to figure out how I want to get around those flaws. But for the most part, I'm loving this. And I tried to keep it simple, more simple than many other ones that I've seen. Like some pages are just kind of writing, because I knew if it wasn't simple enough, I wouldn't keep up. Hence where I'm struggling with some of these pages. But overall, I'm enjoying it, and I'm curious to see how I can like tweak it to make it work even a little better for me. Okay, I think I mentioned this in a video a while ago, but we got our cat an electric ball. I don't know, guys, our cat is like going through a stage where he is so energetic. Yesterday, he barely slept all day long, and then he still wakes us up at like 5 in the morning and wants to play. He's 1.5 years old. I feel like we should be done with this, but we're not. So we try to play with him as much as possible. We're always home, so it's not like he's that bored with Jared working from home and us homeschooling, and like there's almost always someone here. But we got him an electric ball that has a couple different modes. It does just like a regular kind of like moving mode, and then it has like a vibrating kind of bouncing mode. And it's been good because it gives us a little bit of a break. He liked it more at the beginning. I feel like he's kind of not enjoying it so much now, but sometimes I'll like throw it into like a reusable fabric bag or something like that, or into a bin, and then suddenly it's different and he wants to pounce on it. It feels weird to buy your cat like an electric toy, but when you're running out of options because you feel like you've played with them all day and they still want more time, it's working sometimes. It's a nice addition, let's say that. I am now almost done the Revelation study that I've been doing. It's Felicia Masonheimer's Every Woman a Theologian Revelation study. I'm halfway through Revelation 21, so I just have the rest of 21 and the rest, like all of 22 to do yet. But I feel like I can quite recommend it. It has been very interesting. As someone that has read Revelation a number of times, but like been so confused, I've never really stopped and studied it. This is the first time. And this study is so good because she does such a good job of like saying like, okay, like what does this verse say? And then she'll take different parts and she'll say, okay, so how does this prove the, like this type of, oh, what am I thinking? You know, like the end times views. How does this support this one? How does this support this one? Like she doesn't say this one's right and this one's wrong, or this one's right and this one's wrong. Yeah. But she says, okay, like how does this one seem like it might be valid? How does this one seem like it might be valid? And in a way, she kind of takes you through the process of figuring out which one you believe to be true, like, which I feel like it can be really hard because there are verses that kind of seem to support one and verses that kind of seem to support another. But I've really enjoyed it, and I feel like it's made Revelation make so much more sense to me. So I don't know if she has any other studies I bought it via ebook, and that's, so I printed it out. It's 200 pages. So I not only double-sided it, but I shrunk it down so I had 2 pages per page per side. So it didn't take me 200 pages to print it. But it's been really good. I definitely recommend that. Another thing I've been loving lately is making sure I always have an ebook and an audiobook on the go. I definitely go through phases where I like ebooks or audiobooks more than others. The last couple of weeks have been lots of cleaning and painting and things like that, where I've been listening to a lot of ebook or audiobooks because I've been doing things. And I've just decided that I always need to have an ebook on the go. I can either read on my phone or on my like reading tablet, and it has helped me get through so many more books. Like February started out pretty slow, and then I kind of implemented this method pretty hardcore, and I got through so many books in the second half of the month. So I would definitely recommend trying the method out, and if you want, this could be the same book. I'm not very good at that because I stop books in the middle of like paragraphs. So to try to find like where you are in your ebook or your audiobook after stopping in the middle of a paragraph would be really hard. But I just always try to have an ebook, an audiobook, and then obviously a million physical books as well. Okay, 2 more favorites, one of which is homeschool stuff. If you guys follow me on my homeschool channel, I decided to bring it back. And I shared a video there earlier this week because I've been doing a ton of homeschool research. We've been in a weird little lull, mostly because I've been busy trying to get our house ready to move. I haven't had time to invest in homeschooling. And it's March, and every March I just want to like revamp everything. And so that's what we've been doing. We're trying out a bunch of things. People gave tons of comments and ideas in that video, and then I spent all of yesterday just researching everything people recommended, and I bought something, and we're looking into different things, and I'm looking forward to refreshing our homeschool. So I guess I am bringing back the homeschool channel. The reason behind that is conflicting for me. Like, I would love to just have one YouTube channel and have everything under that YouTube channel, have all my books, all our homeschool, everything else just here. But the fact of the matter is that YouTube doesn't like that. And while it's not all about the money or the views or anything, if YouTube is going to reward me for having separate channels, it's going to be the same kind of amount of work. Really-ish to have multiple channels, it's a little bit more work. But if they're going to do better and I'm going to get more monetary payout and be able to reach people better, it seems like it's a good idea. And so that's what I'm doing. And I've decided that I need to have consistent homeschool videos, because in order for me to share homeschool videos, I need to have homeschool things to share. And therefore, I need to make sure I'm always like looking at different things. And I think it's just the push that I need to stay inspired. I know that probably wouldn't work for everyone, but I think that's what's working for me right now. And so, yeah, we're refreshing a bunch of stuff, whole video on that, and I'll have like more videos to come sharing other things that we're looking into. And the last thing, only a very select few of people will be interested, but I bought a new tripod like a month and a half ago, and I'm really liking it. I used to have a photography business. I shot a lot of weddings and families, and I pretty much never used a tripod, honestly, but I had the cheapest of the cheap for over 10 years, the same tripod. And so I like finally invested in a nice one, and one that can do top-down video so much better. So when I shared my January reading journal no, January reading journal, I was MacGyvering it. Then I did another video that was top down. I can't remember which one. And that was so much better. So I definitely recommend the tripod. I will leave a link to the one I bought down below if you guys are interested in that. It's quite pricey, but considering how wonky I had to like set up my other tripod and how high the probability was that my camera was gonna like fall down and smash to pieces, like it's probably worth having a good tripod. It will probably save me a lot of money in the end. That way my camera won't fall over. So there's a random list of things that I've been loving in the last 2 months or so, since my 3 months? I don't know, since my last favorites video. I would love to hear like the simple things, the bigger things that you guys have been enjoying, just different ways that you guys are keeping track of the things that you love. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today.